It is currently Middas, the 29th of Rain's Hand, when the Forsaken Winds awake from their overnight stay at a refugee shelter in Croatia, having completed a long rest, and disguised as displaced commoners to maintain a low profile. Jiri, if your typical seeming duration is 8 hours, you know your magical disguises are about to end. You've obtained the access writ that you recently sought, which now avails you of teleportation directly into some predetermined location in Daenor, the capital city of Durast, and the seat of power for Zavar, the tyrant behind this war, as well as, typically, his talons, some of which you have history with. As you guys take this day after the long rest to see to any final preparations, what do each of you want to prioritize? And we can resolve those items now.
Oh my god, I didn't think of that.
We're trying to keep a low profile, though, right?
Well, because we might go within as halfway through this day, right?
I'm thinking we want to go as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wake up early
It's
and just
morning.
yeah.
All right. So, do we need to do a seeming before we walk around the city? Do we even want to burn that spell? I don't know. I mean, we're thinking that we might.
Seeming an hour before we leave would be best.
That's what I was gonna say. So first thing we do when we wake up, Jiri, if you want to just seeming us again back to what we were, then we can get at least an hour.
Short rest.
Yeah.
You guys go do something for an hour and then we leave. Like, go talk to Elia for an hour. I'll short rest, and then as soon as you guys get back, go.
Works for me.
Okay, seeming. Wait, what do we want to look at? Like, for this one?
Same as we did.
I believe it was 5 Tim Currys.
I forget what we were just looking like.
It was that or the Weasleys.
Oh yeah, it was a Weasleys. I just wanted to throw out a random, distinct-looking person.
Well, hold on. Don't we want to go in like we are part of
Durast?
that dude's like, no, the guy that we stole the writ from. Like, do we want to go in as him and his people?
I see. Conceptually, yeah.
Might as well.
So you could do it yourself as him, and you're going to hide here for an hour, and then we'll go out, kind of, and then... I mean, I don't even have to leave. Roulette and Toby could go alone.
Did we see him at that, like, party thing?
Yep. You know what Skull-Lord Demir looks like.
He specifically, didn't have a mask on, right?
He specifically did not.
Correct, yeah.
Did you hear him speak?
Yeah, was I able to hear him talk for at least a minute?
You were.
He gave a speech or something, didn't he? Or some
He
welcome.
was interacting with various people, and I remember Tim specifically, or Jiri specifically, making a point to stick around long enough to get a beat on his patterns of speech.
Alright, so I'll transform myself into him, and then I'll pick 3 other just kind of like people that were part of his entourage, I suppose, that we saw walking around with him.
Okay. So, nobles or more soldier faring?
More soldier. Like his bodyguards or like
how the guards of his household looked.
Yeah. But if we saw any ones that were specifically with him that night, I would pick ones that look like those individuals.
You are welcome to do so.
Do we... I'm mostly just going to be walking around looking like a Daenorian noble in Ostennis. Is this going to attract attention?
I think they'll know who some random noble is from Cliffshade.
Okay.
You're going to look like a Durastian, not a noble, more like a guard, right? Oh, put a hood up.
to ally a little more difficult, but she should understand a disguise.
I. Toby, where were you going?
I was gonna swing by where we first teleported in last night at that graveyard, just for a quick little prayer.
Got it.
Okay. So Argiri and Telperion sticking around close nearby the refugee shelter slash inconspicuous locations where Toby and Roulette are venturing out to go see to an errand or two.
I'm staying short resting, basically.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I need from out and about.
Okay. Toby, let's handle you first. You were interested in swinging by the graveyard. What'd you have in mind?
I'm gonna finalize that swap and commit to this. I'm gonna ritually cast Commune in order to kind of like report in about this necromantic tome we found last night.
When you cast Commune, I like to put on a specific song. You venture to the graveyard. Silver mists coagulate and manifest in their surrounding space until they cloud all of your surroundings.
Should I leave this behind? Or should I keep it safe on my person until I find a permanent way of destroying it?
Phrased in a yes or no context.
Willing to split that into two questions for the first part and the second part.
Yeah. The first part specifically being, should I leave this here? You cast it at the graveyard, and somehow you sense the mists suddenly pull away from you. This space is so imbued with Kelemvor's magic, bound to a location of one of his previous servants, that this specific place wants nothing to do with that book. The second question phrase, should you keep it on you for future destructionary intent? More silence than you're typically used to when getting a clear answer, yes or no, from your deity / the deva who brings you news. You think that's unclear if it's better served with you versus elsewhere.
Then I guess I will spend the third part of my commune basically conveying my, kind of, I would like to put this at the top of my priority list, but there is something that draws me on this day specifically, and this will not leave my mind, and I understand that this is part of what my purpose would be in service to Kelemvor.
Feel an appreciative acknowledgement as the mists cool. They don't chill you, they just cool you. In a way that gives you satisfaction that your call would not require, within this context, in this tome specifically, that you put all aside to destroy this tome all of a sudden. There's an acknowledgement that this matters to you and that you will see to it.
And that's all. And if I knew Roulette was heading to pick up something first or go talk to Alive first, I will jog after and catch up.
You can go try and catch up with Roulette. Roulette, then, back to you. What's item number 1?
While Toby was going to the graveyard, I would have gone to the headed towards the museum. Before leaving where this refugee place, I would have torn a paper out and written a small little note or letter. And I'm going to try and find Mr. Salthor by the museum.
You are certainly able to. He is the High Curator, and therefore is required around that location basically all day. He has a lot of responsibility there, and it might even strike Roulette's curiosity of how does this dude pull off what he's doing on the side. He has a high level of sort of not oversight, but such heavy interaction with other individuals throughout any given day, and such level of management of the Palestone Archives is at the Lester Manor's keep. But you're able to find him.
Once I spot him, being the Daenorian or Cliffshadian guard that I am going to hand the letter to Daisy, along with a notebook and 2 satchels, and I'm going to have Daisy trot up and deliver it to Salthor.
Okay.
So literally, it is.
Yeah, I'll say some of the guards outside, which I believe you rather, astutely did not try to approach in your current state, see this little mechanism stroll up to them, and they immediately, unsheath spears and hold shields ahead and say, "Who approaches?" And then after some commotion off in the distance that you can't quite hear, you do see Salthor himself, a very pale-skinned albino tiefling gentleman in his late middle-age years, sort of curiously approach the commotion, and you see a sort of acknowledging head tilt of his that indicates he knows you from recent interaction and therefore suspects that this is some version of ambassador from you. Having done a previous meeting kind of availed you of that being a success. But Daisy is able to pass Salthor a message.
And she does have letter in one hand, notes in the other one, and then third arm is one bag, and then fourth arm is the other bag, with her quadra arms now. And the letter will just say something essentially like down payment for a project I'd like some assistance on. Everything you need should be in the notes. Payment is in the darker bag. A gift from me is in the lighter bag. Not sure if these are up your alley or up your speed, but I'm sure you can find some place to mount them if you want. And I will include 2 of the rock talons that I had harvested from the rock.
Very well.
And I'm going to, so all of the notes on the attunement circlet thing that I still have no idea what I'm doing on. I just want to get them started on it, and I can chat with you after. And 2,000 gold in the other bag.
I'm going to step on your toes a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, you hope the gold is enough, because the talons, along with, I believe, the entire Vulturock's head, is still hidden in a cache in Chasm Park, right?
Did we put all of it in there? Because
I believe the talons were stuffed in with the rock head, but if you can reliably believe and confirm otherwise, then that's fair game. But at least the rock's head is still hidden in a cache in Chasm Park in Cliffshade currently.
I was worrying about that because I literally wrote it on my thing. Sorry. Do I have anything else weird that I can give him? No, we'll just say the rock stuff is back in that cache because we definitely threw everything in there.
I think that is the case.
Yeah, nope, that 100% makes sense. Uh, in that case, fuck, I don't have anything else I want to get rid of. So stupid. I will. I have a wyvern tail, but that's not something I want to give him. I will bump it up to 2,500 gold with a note and some drawings about these beautiful rock talons that I am going to gift to him as soon as we can collect them.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I
that's
will.
a very fair game. But
I will not mark
2,500
this
gold.
off. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great.
Thank you for the
He
reminder.
will stow the goods prepared for him, gifted to him from his knights up front outside the Palestone Archives, and otherwise take his leave back inward.
And then I will meet Toby at the spot where we said we were going to meet up after we did our illicit meetups.
Okay.
With the dead and the mafia.
Okay. As you guys intend to meet up, what is your next goal? Was there a subsequent goal for you both?
I wanted to, because I am presuming that I took the portable whole necklace scarf from Telperion, and I was going to hand that off to Don Magnus, and then
Yeah, you would have the portable hole.
Yeah.
With all the loot.
And then I would either ask Magnus or ask someone else to see if there was like, hey, any chance you got a spare breastplate somewhere?
They can offer you a standard breastplate or a +1 breastplate. As you are able to, you and Toby both are able to track down Magnus. He is not with Alaya actually, but he's with the Glassguard Armory and Barracks. They're doing heavy inventory throughout the city to see what resources are available, lost, damaged, recoverable, etc. And specifically in that location, he pulls some strings with some local lieutenants, and they're able to provide for you at your choice a breastplate that's standard or a +1 breastplate for 500 gold.
I will just take the standard one, and I will, because I'm a rule follower, my infusion stuff technically only happens the second I wake up from a long rest.
You could have stored some of your intellectual capacity for use here. That's totally fine.
I appreciate that one. So I will just take the standard one, and he's asking for 500
Free of
gold.
charge. Free of charge for the standard. 500 gold would have been a discounted price for the +1 breastplate.
Perfect. I will take the standard. I will throw an infusion in there as soon as I take it. And appreciate all the help, Magnus. Send the queen our regards, and hopefully see you soon.
That's with the gold.
And I will, during this business conversation, I will say, I also have a bit of a deposit, if you wouldn't mind holding on to, in a very secure safe. And I will take off my scarf. This is very, very valuable and needs to be watched.
I'm sure it is. And he curiously but knowingly sees the scarf and knows the capabilities of a portable hole, and therefore is very eager to see what is contained within.
An echo of
He was to
Telperion.
clear it by giving him the loot, but getting the hole back, right?
Is that the intent?
An echo
That was
of
my
Telperion.
intention of, we're talking the coin master, could we essentially start an account so we have access to this item as we go into our infiltration?
I would say yes. It just will take at least a 2-hour count or so for him to have that, cleared and delivered somewhere. That's not a dump it here on the floor, I'll take care of it. It's more of a, oh, I will take this scarf somewhere with your accompaniment if required, put it somewhere, and then relinquish the scarf back to you. It'll just take a couple hours, as long as you guys are good with that. Okay, but that can absolutely be done. So functionally, 2 hours from now, he will fully clear the contents of the portable hole, all of those ingots and all of that gold for now, unless there's certain quantities of gold you guys wanted to shove in your pockets first. But
I think we're going
otherwise,
shopping.
okay. So that
Actually,
ru-
I will take
that quantity of gold we discussed previously, otherwise, will just not be accessible to you quite yet.
Sweet.
As a note, you're welcome to obviously name it whatever you would like, but when you add a breastplate to your inventory and then imbue your infusion to it, again, call it whatever you like, but it is physically a glass guard chest plate or breastplate. It has bits of the veritite amber colored ore sort of baked into it in the way that kind of gives a golden stained glass coloration in between some of the metal bits.
Sweet. I will label that appropriately to know. But I'm assuming as soon as I put it on, the seaming is still over.
DM will give a ruling on that in 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
But those deeds handled, Magnus will inquire further of how did your ventures go. I can tell successfully with the contents of the hole, and here's that back for you. But did you get what you were after, a means of access into Daenor?
We did. Did a quick pit stop to one other city in Durast. Wanted to make a quicker pit stop back here to sleep, prepare, and deposit a few goods. And now I think at least we're headed to the jaws of the lion or dragon or
The lion's
somewhere. The
Part of-
lion den. I think that's
Part of some beast, at least. You're intending to leave today? This afternoon?
Sooner.
as soon as we get back.
He is a very calculated, poised individual, and he's just sort of reeling from sort of how real it is that some version of a effort is happening like now.
That reaction is what we're hoping
Will
for
you-
then.
Will you do me a favor?
If it takes less than a minute, I would love to.
Leave from Noah's house. The man we all knew as Gallus. Leave from his house,
Oh.
and I will make arrangements for parting gifts. We have a vested interest in making sure you are successful. He immediately begins calling to some of the people he's doing like business management with, and you can tell he's seeking out couriers, runners to go act. So he wants you to come together as a group before you use the access writ.
Of course, we can make our way over there right away. I will go let the other two know.
I wish we had more time to prepare, but we will see what we can do for you in the next
We'll
few
have all the
hours.
time to celebrate. Don't worry.
It does seem cheeky we're going in just the four of us. Like, at least when we had the others, it seemed like we had help.
Well,
We've
perhaps
done
you will have...
such an end.
Perhaps there will be certain offers or boons available per his suggestion. You guys can do with those what you will.
I will jog back with Toby and find our Scalord.
Okay. Scalord, Demir, and his attendant, Telperion, what are you guys doing? Anything of note that you want to clarify before we move on?
think we're just bickering. I don't have much in particular. I need to do. I mean, I could like throw a potion of healing together now, but I don't feel the need. So I think I'll just be really meditating and just kind of focusing.
Yeah. So do we have extra time then? Do we get an extra 2 hours? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think Toby indicated that before noon you guys are interested in leaving, but it's still early morning. So yeah, you guys have a couple of hours to do with what you will.
Yuri will then practice casting teleportation circle for the first time, just to practice it out, and then take another short rest.
Okay.
I'll open up a portal to, I don't know, do we know how many?
I was gonna. That was my next
teleportation
question.
we know
Is
of?
like, what teleportation sigil, what sequence and ritual, what symbol do you imbue in the circle?
Group question. How many do we know of?
We sundered the one Moira made temporarily. And I think that's it.
You know, there's at least one in this or two in this city. We haven't seen them
we
though.
know there are some. I think the only one we've seen was the one at Lux Monastery that Rome fucked up.
Then I guess I don't know what happens if you don't specify a specific location. I'll probably just make one just to like practice making it, kind of to show
Yeah.
Telperion the new magic that Jiri does. And the way it works for Jiri is that he like manufactures or like it doesn't look like, if you think of like Doctor Strange's teleportation portal, it doesn't look like that. Instead, Jiri's is a cork that like appears in the ground, and he like yanks the cork out like it's a bottle top, and then underneath is just like a pitch black hole in the ground.
I guess would the potential sigil be like emblazoned on the top of the cork or something?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like on the top. of
Yeah,
it,
like an embossed. Yeah, that's cool. So yes, now it is just a pitch black, kind of almost similar to the portable hole, just like a hole in the ground. But someday you could make that connect somewhere.
Telperion, jump in.
No.
I'm gonna push you in then.
Where would I go?
You're gonna find out.
How would I get back?
You may never come back, Telperion. This could be the end for you.
And you're saying I have to?
Yes.
All right. Well, with evidence like that, I guess goodbye. And I just walk out of the room. Just kidding. It's boring out there, but I'm not going through that.
And I believe
they come back to us
some
fighting.
some 6 seconds later or so, the hole just like knits back together in the ground. It looks as if it had not been touched. Because I think the spell only lasts for about a round to allow people through.
That's it.
That's pretty sweet, though.
It's based on memory, though.
I feel like I haven't read the spell enough.
So you're saying we can use
duration's
that
one
teleport
round,
to anywhere, or just known locations?
Anywhere, potentially.
Potentially, what percentage? Potentially.
Like 60%
interesting.
certain I know
Oh.
exactly where it goes.
So this is interesting. I haven't read the spell in a while either. When you first gain the ability to cast this spell, you learn the sigil sequences for 2 destinations on the material plane determined by the DM. You can learn additional sigil sequences during your adventures and commit new sequences to memory after studying it for a minute or more. So you get 2. I'm not prepared to give you those answers yet, but I'll give you one. The other one is a little bit more amorphous. But one of them, let me read this real quick to make sure I can say this. That's a problem. So it's one, but it won't take you there yet. There was a teleportation sigil in Kaer Methrendine where you guys fought a lot of Eladrin and defeated the evil Ice Eladrin Morrigan and allied with her brother Aeolas. There was a
Isn't it-
teleportation circle in that space that they repurposed to allow access into Galathor temporarily for you.
Isn't that in the Feywild?
It is in the Feywild. So you can't cast it from this plane to go there, but when you're in the Feywild, you can cast it to go to Kaer Methrendine.
Is Kaer Methrendine how we got back too? Because we
It
went through the
is.
tree there. So like
It is.
theoretically, that's a
And theoretically,
essentially-
Aeolas and potentially a new, safe haven for lycanthropes like him could be making that a hub for them now that the sort of evil or turned Eladrin had been cleared out. So if you guys stumble into some sporadic, chaotic location in the Feywild, you at least have a sigil that you know could get you to allies in a split second. So that's one sigil that you've literally encountered in world that you know. The other one we can sort of collaborate on together and determine where you might have seen one.
Okay.
I just really wanted to talk to Aeolas, so not that I know how to just get us into the Feywild, but that's really exciting, actually.
And of course, it did not expend your 50 gold pieces that the spell usually consumes to just test out the minor application here and now.
Oh, dang. I didn't realize it was a cost. Oh, yeah. All right.
Chalk.
We're chalked in
Well, actually, you
ink.
know what we could do? I could go out and get you. We could just, since you can't go yourself, if you want to, I can go grab us some chalk from a spell shop just to have. Because
Yeah,
we don't
I
have
feel
the
like
chalks for that.
you draw it, I guess, on the ground. Yeah.
I'll go off and do that.
Dude does a little doodle, and then the cork pops out of the ground.
Okay. Telperion, normally I might have you make a check because enchanted arcane inks right now are in rare supply in this city. Ensorcelment has been destroyed. That was the primary arcane supply shop. But you guys do have sufficient allies and avenues in this city specifically where that check's not required. So you can get up to 100 gold worth of rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems. So 2 uses of teleportation scroll or teleportation circle are available for you to purchase if you would like.
While I'm at it, could I get like 5 doses of ink, or just like 3 doses of ink for spell scrolling, like just for my book?
Yeah.
Which is what? That's 150.
And those are, I think, are those typically in 25 gold
I think
increments
they're
or 50 gold
50s,
increments?
so I'll get 2.
Okay.
So I'll drop
So
200 at this place and come
Perfect.
back, and I'll give the chalk to Ujiri.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not
I'll
even
give you-
really a place. There's not like a shop that's selling those things right now.
Okay.
It's like more asking around people that you trust that, hey, I'm in disguise, but I'm Telperion. I need your assistance. Can you put me in touch with? And you can get the right contacts over an hour or so that can slip you some loose reserves.
Daynor, Daynor, Daynor,
Hmm.
Daynor. Chris is gonna play a new theme music for a new city. I'm excited.
You don't know that.
At whatever point,
I'll just have the magicals. I'll just keep the chalk on me for now, since Tim can't access his character sheet. Then I'll just be the arcane store supply for that
Okay.
with my ink.
That sounds good. Any final items of interest? Attunements all chosen, spells for the day all chosen for those who choose.
I
All
guess
chosen.
so.
Roulette infused breastplate. That's an attunement, right? Once it's
Yep.
infused. Okay. You guys collect yourselves, reconvene together. Short rest is available over the course of that time, Jiri, sufficient to recharge your spell slot.
Sweet.
And then we go to Gallus's.
Okay.
The
When
main
you
part of
arrive
the-
at When you arrive at Gallus's, Magnus alone exits the front door, coming out into street level to let you all in. And inside are two other individuals. Queen Elia and an Ithilwinge woman that Telperion you would recognize as from the Eclipse in the Emerald Forest in Athenian. She's one of the scribes of Limstella Greymire, the head of the Eclipse. I don't have a token for her, but I am going to throw Elia and Magnus on the screen. Magnus has made me aware that you are all setting out fairly immediately. Will you accept the boons I can give? I have a few options. Number one, I am glad to hear that you are not bringing Lord Kellen. He will be needed here in the rebuilding of the Noras and the Glass Guard, as well as Lord Kinsalo. We believe Ostennis should be showing a sign of strength here, not reliant on chimeras. This venture, taken apart by you, cannot be mistaken for southern devils they so fear terrorizing their northern lands. From an optics perspective, the Chimerans have already a well-defendable position. They merely helped restore Creatia to its rightful autonomy. Now it should be Creatia itself that strikes down its aggressor. A small contingent of you, as well as our most elite Glass Guard, if you will take them. She gives a sign to Magnus, and Magnus wraps his knuckles, and from upstairs, the small room upstairs, 5 individuals forming a large Glass Guard elites contingent stand ready with pikes and fully enchanted +1 plate armor. These are some of my most trusted Glass Guard. They are Brett, human, Joy, a tiefling, Cord, a half-orc, Flint, an earth genasi, with bits of veritite amber ore crystallized through his skin, and their leader, Lieutenant Nefeni, a half-elf woman with beautifully brown hair that has a slightest sheen of gold. They stand ready to accompany you. If the access writ that you retrieved functions as a teleportation scroll and can take 9 individuals, these 5 should be able to venture out with you. They will bolster your forces. They will defend themselves well. But adding numbers has its drawbacks too. It is your decision whether to take them or not. However, before you make that decision, Kari has also been working in the past week or so since you left, every angle she has through her contacts in Durast, and has discovered strange news. The Red Plumes of Daenor have seemingly given their loyalty to the witch, Talon Moira. However, according to Kari's most trusted informant, Moira and many of the guild's elite members currently do not occupy Daenor, as of yesterday morning. In fact, they have positioned themselves along the new Talon, the air rider known as Ban Barbar, and Skal Lord Mastul, high in the mountains above Cliffshade. We have no word on what could have possessed their attention sufficient to pull them away from Daenor, but it is likely that during the next day's time at least, if we are lucky, both of those Talons will not maintain any presence in Daenor during your arrival. If you go equipped with 5 of our Glass Guard elites, as well as any other available preparations, Perhaps our only opportunity for striking down Zavar exists here in the next 12 to 18 hours. There has not been a replacement Talon named in Vitria's absence as of yet, and the Arc-9's location continues to remain unknown. So let us hope against hope that he honors his word given to you all in Mersenia. In addition, a final forewarning. Zavar was seen some 2 days ago by one of our operatives among the Red Plumes, and he was wearing a divinely reflective breastplate. The report suggests that Zavar is somehow now in possession of not only his celestial bident, the emblem of the Sundering known as Cryospear, but now also wears Celestier armor. Further details on the matter would unfortunately only be speculation at this point. But from what you all described in your encounter with the Arc Knight, this forebodes the need to strike rather hard and attempt to wear down its divine protection. Not much is known to us regarding the capabilities of his Bident either, but some claim that he is able to leap from his monstrous mount without fear of falling at the very least. That is the main boon I give to you, my intel gathered and Glassguard elites ready to march alongside you if you will. However, the Aranil herself, Tenufea Loonsong, has sent an emissary, the fastest she could get in the last 2 hours since Magnus's awareness of your intent. She has arrived less than half an hour ago through the portal trees at the city walls and made her way here at my request. And this woman comes forward, beautiful pale skin, beautiful long dark hair, and holds a simple chalice.
Oh.
Megavonin, I will transition to common for all of you. It has dimmed some, as the Aranil was not able to prepare the feast herself. But sip from this chalice, and you shall be imbued with some of the magics from the hero's feast capabilities she has cast for you all in the past. And this will functionally be the 2024 version of Heroes Feast.
We're sipping the future, baby.
Tip in the future, 2025.
Dreaming
Yeah.
nice.
So it's not quite as powerful as the previous version, but still has benefits. And finally,
Oh god.
Magnus, would you open it? Magnus walks to the back of the house, unlatches a window, and just pushes it open. A breeze drifts in from outside, and fluttering in through the window, a small mote of golden flame that takes loosely the form of a canary.
He's coming.
We sent word to him immediately upon being made aware of your plans. The Beast King was not able to make it here in such a short time, but he promised a boon. And just a few minutes ago, this showed up. I believe he would like each of you four to approach it.
Mary.
And if you do so, the canary flits its wings and begins to sort of buoy in the air, encircling each of you and then all of you. And you all just feel warmth instill in your very soul. And each of you can add to your inventory a wisp of wildfire.
Fuck. That's not my
Hell yeah.
And Jiri, I'll add this to your inventory here as well.
Cool, thank you.
Ooh, rare.
A one-time consumable essence that can give various opportunities for interaction.
Whoa.
Very cool.
Jiri, I have added it to your thing, so you should be able to see it in equipment if you refresh at some point. But Wisp of Wildfire. This amorphous winged wisp of golden fire is a fragment of Beast King Mordecai's power, which hovers around your person for up to 8 hours or until used. While the wisp orbits around you, its magic can be expended to achieve one of the following effects. There's an action, bonus action, or reaction opportunity.
Hot.
If you utilize its magic before the end of its duration, you also immediately gain heroic inspiration, which is a 2024 rule. The action can replicate Fireball. The bonus action can gain resistance to cold damage, and the reaction can spare a target from falling unconscious.
Specifically, I think that King's Bidence does cold damage too.
Do we remember that? Did he attack us with the bident? Well, I guess you got stabbed with it several times.
He almost
I remember
killed
well.
Tiberian.
I reached down to the 4 scars on my stomach.
Toby, how many seats in the wagon you got for that spell that brings us back here?
That is an important note. I could only bring 6 people home if we need to escape quickly.
No.
The woman known as Nefeni walks up to you and puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "Then you shall select which of my men most needs it. I will give my life gladly for the cause." And the rest of the 4 just slam their pikes on the ground.
Hang on, Elia, is there a teleportation circle in the city?
In this city? Yes, there's a number. There are at least 2 recorded in one of them in Mage Zier Munich's tower, as well as I believe Magister Damien Hart had at least 1 he was working on in his tower. We do have the records of them. We require that Magisters register those with Magnus himself as Lord of Court and Coin. Why do you ask?
Jerry, if you saw one, would you be able to bring us back to it? Is there a limit
for
on the
sure.
number of people that could come through that one?
I think we can all jump through it. So yeah, tell me where it is.
Very well.
Or like, let's go visit it.
Well, one problem is that Magister Damien Hart's tower, although vacated in the Durastian infiltration, and we still do not know the whereabouts of Lord Hart, he has magical protections in place that even I do not have the capabilities to bypass readily. However, the sigil itself has been registered with Magnus, and he could show you the sigil sequence if that would suffice.
Yeah, can you draw it on a piece of paper? Don't forget it.
Yes, we will. I will have someone come to this location in the next 30 minutes with that information. If you can wait just a moment longer.
That can be done.
What do you guys think? I think we can spare 30 minutes. I think it's like the best way for us to get out of here.
I think it opens up options, which is important. And I want to look at, what's her name? Neferi?
Nefeni.
Nefeni.
Nefeni, I don't want to mislead you here. And actually, I kind of want to talk to her away from the other 4. Like, I want them here at this part. I mean, I've fought alongside Glassguard before when fighting to save Queen Elia, and the forces we faced shred through them like paper. And I don't mean to imply you're not exceptionally brave and the best of the best, but it very likely is grave work that we'd be taking you all to.
Lord Tactician, we do know the risks, and I think you will find our elites, the way we have trained together for some 2 decades, will prove that we are hardier than the standard fare soldiers, even though they have their own merit. We are a cut above.
I'm gonna look at what's her AC? Can I
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, that's fair game. Here, I'll show you.
Topirian, he wants to be persuaded a little bit, and he's kind of letting them see that.
I will send you guys a link to the Glassguard Elite's stat block as soon as it loads for me here.
Yeah, because we just spent time with Kellen and Consalo and would not bring them into this, so...
And they'll divulge to you their capabilities, and this is totally fair game.
while we wait for Jiri's drawing.
To the royal filing cabinet.
All right, I sent it in the Roll20 chat. But actually, I can send it in the Discord chat too. Just in case that's easier. And then, while she's considering, Elia will linger for a moment, but will request that Magnus go make haste and get you that sigil sequence with a runner or himself. But 30 minutes later, he does come back with a small ledger and flips to a specific page amongst bureaucratic nonsense for bookkeeping on a government level, and will show to you, Jiri, the one known teleportation sigil that Damien Hart himself or some scribe attendant had spent a year imbuing into that space.
Dang. All right. Yeah. What do the sigils look like? Do they just look like your generic like runes? That's how I'm imagining them. But
Yeah, it is fairly generic rune, but it's intended to be somewhat radial and circular, but I imagine that there's like gaps and points of almost artwork where it strays from radial symmetry. I'm kind of loosely thinking like allomantic symbols, but with more heavily dense populated pointillism effect of smaller script within it.
ooh, cool. All right. That gives
Start
you the
pick-
idea of what our teleportation circle should look like. The sigils. It should be like all the four wind signs all put together. Everybody's like sigil from their rings.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Once it becomes clear we're waiting for 30 minutes for the thing, I'm actually going to start switching to an attunement slot. And before, like, as I do, I'm going to talk. Okay, so to the four of you, holy fuck, we could have fought Moira if we'd gone the other route, is what it sounds like. We could have faced two Talons.
Depending on when she arrived and whether she was with Lord Mastul and Talon Ben Barbar at the time, perhaps. But
And
that
so-
also perhaps indicates the value of whatever they're doing.
and what we did not disrupt, but we are getting an advantage here and hopefully killing Zavar for what the price of whatever that is taking them.
And I
Fantastic.
believe taking the Glass Guard with you will make a more resounding statement than assassins cutting him down in the night. Even if your exploits and legendary tales already have gained reputation suitable for making a statement, having Glass Guard there will make it clear who took retribution for his evil deeds. It is something we can rally people around rather than amorphous shadows moving in silence.
Oh yeah, and we'll
Dude,
definitely leave a giant puddle behind when we're done.
100 HP with weapon resistance is
Yeah, we're
nice.
taking them. That's 500 HP.
Yeah.
In a way.
Well,
No, but I looked at them, they're as tough as me.
yeah, functionally not. It's not technically
more like
5 individuals. It's one large squad.
Yeah, it's a
is.
single unit. This is one
Like you guys, like you guys have
Yeah.
seen the Dread Iron Squadron, Durastian Squadron. This is a smaller but very proficient Glass Guard elite squad.
So I'm probably not going to keep the Ring of Attunement, the contingency bound attuned, because it was specifically for mage problems.
That's a meaningful adaptation to make.
Before you decide any final outcomes, if you are still venturing into Moira's lab, it is surely heavily guarded in her absence, or at least someone there of arcane acuity, I imagine, will be left behind. So don't discard that route offhand.
That's true. I also dream of using this on her, but she might be able to negate its effects. In which case, if it takes out someone in her lab, think for a quick moment. Do you guys think it'd be worth using on anyone besides a boss? Something like this is like,
Yeah, let
if
me
we used up
briefly
their
look
safe
at it.
legendary resistances and then have this in the back pocket, it's huge. Or it's a way to force a legendary resistance. So like me being attuned, like I'd really rather not have this ring attuned if I'm not going to use it, because we're going to fight Zavar, and I'd rather be at my peak for that. Since Moira's not the fear. Do you guys have an input?
I'd save it.
So yeah,
As my one thought would be, is it also useful against Zavar though?
I think the only thing we've seen him do is have to rely on an item to be able to do a counterspell.
Having read it, it's so good against a high level mage. Like it would eradicate her if we could get it. If we got it. Like if we ever know we're gonna face her and we use it and we plan for it, it could change the fight hugely because it limits their ability to cast spells by quite a lot. I might save it.
I think save it. That's my opinion. Is save it.
Save it.
Also, it's a
I'll make it-
Constitution save. I'm just expecting Zavar will be much better at Constitution than she will, which is meaningful.
Okay, I'm doing a quick attunement change. But we're all, yeah, I think we're kind of decided that, and so we can kind of just wait. Once the teleportation scrolls there, we have our exit. We can take this group. That's all fabulous. Queen Alaya, thank you so much. These are great gifts.
And send our regards
Sorry for
to
not telling you sooner that we were going to be here. We also wanted to act in secrecy, knowing there could be spies.
We would have done more if we could, but frankly, anything more would have required more resources, more time, more management, so perhaps this is the best case scenario. Fare thee well. We are better for having known you.
Also give the elf a nice thank you for coming all the way over here, and also sending her with a just a hello from my family.
I pat the canary.
I don't know if you guys want to bio break soon, but I need to run to the restroom.
That's fine. Yeah, I feel like we wrapped up some items to resolve, and we're kind of on that.
We're doing it.
precipice.
Open that scroll, baby. Let's go.
Cool.
Quick bio break, then we hit teleport.
Do it.
Let's
We
do
are-
it. We're going to Daenor. It's exciting.
Fireball. I wonder what version of the Wisp Toby's gonna use.
Once any version of them is used, the whole item is consumed. You just have options.
Big money, no whammies on my Heroes Feast 2d10.
Oh yeah, everyone should roll that. I should pull that up real quick.
That's not bad. Okay, max HP modifier, 11. Nice.
Oh, did you roll for Heroes Festival?
You better believe it.
Do we each roll individually?
Yes. And I'm gonna look at something real quick.
Is there music playing?
Yes, Dragon Age Inquisition music.
You fool.
Not playing for me.
It says you're in the
It,
jam.
it says you're in the session, yeah.
Welcome to the jam. Come on and slam.
No, this same thing happened last week where the music just like isn't playing, and if I try to touch anything, it'll screw it up.
Quickened is 2 meta magic. Twinned is based on spell level.
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, yep.
I was making sure I felt okay about not attuning my mantle because I rolled a 1 on my charges today.
Oh,
And
nice.
okay, you attuned the staff, right?
Roulette did.
Okay, someone does.
What do we roll for Heroes Feast?
I can tell you. 2d10.
2d10, and then this is the 2024 version, so you have resistance to poison damage, immunity to frightened and poisoned condition, and then hit
Roll
points.
And these
really
are
well this
temps.
time.
2d10.
No, these
Our
are
max will
max.
increase by
These are
this, right?
max.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is increasing your max hit points. These are not temps.
So
And Jiri rolled 15. Jiri, I will update your character sheet if it's not
we
letting
roll
you do that
2d10s?
stuff.
Yes,
Much
Michael.
appreciated, Chris.
15. There you go. It should be. You might have to reload, but it should be at 109 now.
Oh my god, I have so much health.
Roulette has 133.
Goddamn.
Oh, 4.
Dude, 18
guys are beat.
Constitution is crazy.
Actually, wait a second. Hold on.
Steel Sync.
Then Steel Sync, and could you get 200?
Steel Sync puts me
Gee.
at 204.
Holy shit!
You
Because
get
those are
71
temps.
from it?
Those are
Well,
temps.
70, so it puts me at 203. Yeah, so it's like 203 temps on top of it.
Jeez. I think I always thought this was going to be the case, but it's cool to finally see our full tank be born.
Artificer.
Oh man, I predicted from the beginning Roulette was gonna be the strongest by the end.
That's what I always thought.
Okay.
And
so,
and when those 199 hit points are done, then she can just go Chimera.
talk about that. Oh my god.
Unkillable. But I'll fucking try.
Yeah, famous last words from the DM.
So our strategy's changing a little bit, and I'm
It's
not
a
going to say this until
little-
Pierce.
Yeah, it's a little less sneaky now.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, I would say we're gonna want to.
Go
I
and
would
roll
rather do
Blazer.
Moira's. What? Moira's lab first, so that way Zavar being killed doesn't signal the whole kingdom to come down on us. Is my thought. And also, if we get discovered in Moira's lab, that's less worse than if that's where we want to spend some time and then kill them. And then we also don't have to worry about tricking her or dealing with her, hopefully. We maybe can check out her lab alone. Checking out her lab, though, might call her to us if we aren't careful.
Yeah, one of the things I'm wondering is, You don't think she showed up in Cliffshade because of us being there, right?
We had
think-
heard that that this Skull Lord had found something that they were interested in and looking into. So I think this is separate from what we were doing.
I think we know if you
Okay.
found us too. Because we'd be in
I guess
pain.
one way to find out is there going to be 100 soldiers waiting for us when we teleport in?
Well, when we teleport in and we use the map, we can search for her with the feature Orzo. We only get that feature once with the magic map. Remember the Morada's map we'll use when we get there? So that actually might tell us where to go a little bit. But that also might impact our cover story. Yeah.
Yeah, wait, what is our cover story?
Well, it's not to see Moira, even though she's the one who wrote the writ.
we have
showing up-
undisguised glass guard.
We're showing up with
elites
5
us.
blast guards.
Oh,
They're not disguised.
Yeah, we're just going in guns a-blazing.
You could always tell them to stay put somewhere if you guys want to do something separate from them.
We
But
could
they
put them in
are
the
ready
ring.
to back up you.
rogue trick
combat.
Can we
too.
Scenario.
put this like Durastian like garb over them real quick? Like they're soldiers.
I know we used to have a ton of Durastian equipment. I don't know that we do anymore.
It
They-
also won't be the same
We-
AC.
there's
Yeah,
just
you
a
could-
big
you could
war
put
here.
some-
It's gotta be-
You could put some tabards and stuff on them if you could find them, but it's not going to hide and shroud their enchanted amber or veritite plate armor. They're very well outfitted in a way where it's going to be hard to cover that up without illusory means.
Okay, we're waiting half an hour to get this teleportation circle information back from someone.
Yeah.
In the past, DM, you have said for my book of Clothier Croquis, it takes 10 minutes per page
Oh my god.
to draw stuff. I currently have, just for recap, I have 2 pages for Glassguard, I have 2 Durastian Knights, and I have 1 Arc Knight Nat 20 drawing in there.
Wow.
And 10 blank pages. If we realize this, I would have just spent the next 30 minutes doing 3 more pages for 3 more Durastian Knights.
Not intending to use your Arc Knight beautiful rendition, but
No,
the
no,
2
no,
existing
no.
plus 3 new ones, you could absolutely do that if you wish.
The drawn clothes and garments remain for 4 hours.
I like that.
The problem, and I will state this up front before spending this half an hour, the drawn clothes are physical but offer no benefits to AC. Although the drawn clothes and transformed garments can duplicate the appearance of their magical clothes, they don't gain their magical properties.
Yeah, they're not going
So-
to doff their existing equipment to put this on instead, but you could modify the sketches to cover up their current stuff. I think this is sufficient for disguising their appearance. But it will be physical.
Okay.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, in some ways that's
You having that item is meaningful enough for, yes, that can functionally disguise these 5 glass guard. If you spend the next 30 minutes doing 3 more of them and use the existing 2.
And we will have 4 hours worth of that.
Correct.
I think it's
Indeed.
worth it just so that like we don't have to scramble right when we get there. We could,
Even one interaction of a fooled person is worth any planning
Yeah.
we can do now.
time to like think and like strategize. Yeah.
So, quick thing I want to show you lot, and I want to show the guards this, and I'm gonna put down the black napkin and show them the empty hole. And I'm gonna tell them I can create an illusion that makes that look like floor. So I just want you that covers it. So I just want you to know, in the ultimate of pinches, we can use things like this to scatter. So just know we might be asking you or giving you commands that don't totally make sense, but we will have a plan. We're going to be going into an enemy palace, looking for a laboratory first thing, and then trying to kill Zavar. So the subterfuge in between will be partially magical. Just be ready to go with the flow. We care about
You heard the
and we'll-
tactician. Their capabilities exceed our own. We might not be familiar with them, but listen to each of the Forsaken Winds at their command. Otherwise, you answer to me. Got it? Here!
Let's go.
What'd you get on your
So-
2d10, MJ?
What?
What?
Did you roll 2d10?
What'd you get? Your
Your
mic is cutting
audio's
out.
your audio's cutting out.
Loud and proud. Say it. 12?
12, yes.
We
I don't
all
know why
rolled
can't
well.
do it.
Wait, did we get
Were
11,
you-
12, 13? Oh, not quite in a row, but
118 health overall.
we're tied.
Yeah.
Damn.
All is as it should be. So I'm gonna, and I want to say this before we go. Oh, two things, Crit. I misspoke when I wanted loaf components, not ink, but we can talk about that.
Oh, okay. That's
We
way less gold. Yeah, that's just 20 instead of 100, I think, right? So yeah, you can give yourself back 80 if you already subtracted 200.
And then the other thing I'll say is I think, and Tim and MK, I want your opinion on this, Toby and Jerry. I might wear my ring of feather falling instead of my staff, so I might give up some tankiness, but I fancy the idea of being able to pursue him and the flying dragon a little bit without fear of falling. And I might be able to like grapple him in the air. I don't know. Do you like that idea, or do you think I should just go with the regular tanking?
Oh, I say tanky. I'll send. I can always hop off of Shaggy. You can fly on him if you need to.
Okay, I'll go tanky.
I agree.
Staff of defense it is then, which I can wield since I don't have the golden flame staff. Steve, you have that in your inventory. I'll delete it out of mine.
I have it, and it is equipped, and it is attuned.
Whenever I delete a legendary, like a big item of import, I always will make sure it's landed somewhere else.
So we don't forget about it into item purgatory.
Deleting it makes it feel like I'm destroying it. All right, I think I'm ready then.
Very well. Where do you need us?
Let's get in a circle.
God, the writ takes
we
us all
need to
right.
How do we do it? They need to maintain a distance no more than 10 feet from the writ on activation. Press their finger to the parchment within a matter of seconds of its activation. So be ready to touch this paper, and you will accompany us.
Before we even go in, I'll like a bunch of psionic energy is gonna pulse around me for a sec, and I'll cast Long Strider on myself using a side eye.
Okay.
Any meaningful buffs for me to do? I don't think so. Let's do it.
And then I'll just bonus action heal that one back on. Using my psionic recovery. And I'm ready to do it.
Okay.
Put my finger on the page.
Very well. Who reads the spell?
You want some practice, Jiri?
Oh, Toby, it would be right if you did it.
Very well. And I will follow the instructions as have been described to me by Telperion. When he
And even though the writ is written in Infernal, the arcane sequence can be read and activated by even non-magical people, as was the intent of the Skull Lords. Telperion last thought.
It's a climactic. I kind of want to prep a ritual of comprehend languages before we go into Moira's lab. So I'll have been doing that. Also, just because, if that's okay, because I want to have that ready to go if we're
Okay.
reading Hellish when we get there. Infernal.
Long Strider cast on yourself. Comprehend language cast on yourself. Is that a concentration?
Yes. Actually, I'll check.
comprehend, I don't think should be.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I'll do that in the reverse order too, so I'd have the 10 minutes extra on the Long Strider.
Toby Rama, after you.
Boom. Activate.
As you recite the arcane sequence to trigger the magic, and then you press your finger, and all of you gather around and press your finger to the parchment, everyone will take 1 point of necrotic damage. And as you pull even gloved hands away from the parchment, you see blood in the shape of fingerprints from all of you. The fingerprints begin to glow and stream from the parchment, transforming from blood to arcane light that swirls around you. The access writ ignites, burning up in a flash rapidly, and you feel your insides lurch suddenly. You're pulled through space by infernal magic that carries a faint scent of sulfur, familiar to some of you. Your surroundings warp. They blur and fade before you're then deposited seconds later
in the throne room.
Oh, can you imagine?
here.
Oh, alive. Oh, it's nice.
You land upon lush carpet. You appear to have arrived in a lounge study, well furnished and welcoming, accommodating. Something feels cold. The flames aren't flickering. They're just magically lit. And something strange about the window. But otherwise, it's a simple surrounding. There's lounge chairs and couches strewn about this roughly 25 by 10 foot environment. There's a desk off to the side with an open ledger of sorts. And a large, beautiful door leading out of this room, but it's entirely solid. No handle across its wooden frame.
Doors.
Listening for any sounds of life.
Yeah, big perception happening. Toby is
Big
Hawkeye mode right now.
Okay.
So I'm getting the map ready. It meant like the map's not far. It's in my pack.
Toby Rama, make a perception check.
Plus 10 at advantage now. 16. 3. 16 plus 10, 26.
You surveil your environment and you don't hear anything that's concerning. You don't see or smell anything that is of note. There's bits and baubles here, hanging lamps, a glyph sequence that marks the time arcanely set onto the wall. There's bits of interest here, but nothing quite catching your interest until you see a small amethyst orb just sitting on the couch, and it begins to glow and pulse.
Ooh. Maybe we should smash that real quick.
Cool.
Well, don't smash it. I'll throw a blanket over it first. Can I tell if this is some sort of alarm that we just triggered, or like welcome bell that we just activated? Like,
Go
I'm
ahead
thinking
and make a Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
the alarm
Can I
spell.
check the-
is
Can I
specifically
look
what
at the window while he's doing that?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make
I'll
an
check the-
investigation check.
Ooh, 11.
You don't think it was glowing upon arrival, and it's glowing now. That's enough to tell you that, in theory, some input has caused it to
Output.
have an output. You're not sure if it's akin to the alarm spell, identical, completely different, but it's arcanely enchanted to do something when some input has been met.
Do we just walk out of
Alright,
here
can I-
now?
can I break
Telperion,
it?
the window, it seems foggy outside, which is weird, but you don't know how different the climate might be up here compared to where you just left. But it was a beautiful, clear day in Ostennis, but that was some 200 miles south of you. You're looking out and it's a cloudy day. You can see like a faint form of a tree, but as you're shifting and changing your point of view on the mirror, something's alerting your curiosity and suspicion,
I mean,
but you're
some
not sure
sort of, like,
why.
The
demi-plane.
mirror is the.
Christopher, you said mirror when he was looking at the window.
Apologies, I meant window.
So I think so. The window itself is weird.
Yeah, something about looking through the window at this environment beyond is something's not quite right.
Like a parallax effect that's like not matching up with perspective.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Toby's gonna
Maybe
go
we should get out of the room.
look at this door that is fully sealed, not touching it yet.
Okay. You give it a cursory glance. Just seems like a mundane wooden door. You don't see glyphs that are glowing, nothing that catches your perception.
Do we dare to spend 10 minutes for a detect magic? Or do we need to do it this moment? Or is there...
I'm gonna smash this thing and then we're gonna get out of here.
I think first of all, in
Don't
general,
Stop me or I'm gonna punch it.
just okay.
Jerry, smash
Uh,
it.
Jerry, please make a charisma saving throw.
The
You are
written's
good
to
at
be
those.
used to deliver something.
Good at these. 19.
You watch Jerry wind up to smash this orb, and then he just changes his mind and reaches for it and grips it and holds it in his hand.
What he rolled?
Never mind, I'm not smashing it.
He rolled a what?
And you hear a voice emanate in the room. Apologies, guests of the Talon. The Talon herself is otherwise indisposed. When she returns on the morrow, we will collect you. Food will be made available later. Good day.
Was it coming? It didn't come from the purple thing. It came from somewhere else.
It was just emanating ambiently in the space when Jiri made contact with the orb.
Mental communication begins between Toby and Telperion. I think we need to try and convince this thing that we have something urgent that cannot wait till tomorrow. Because the idea is we use this to deliver something.
I pinged Jiri. Jiri, complain about that to him right now, please, if you can. And put that thing down.
Complain about that we have something
Having to
that we
wait
need
for a
to...
full day. You'd be pissed if you had to wait for a full day as him.
Alright, so then Jerry starts making a ruckus. Hey, you! Listen here. We're not waiting a full day. We've got something important to discuss with the Talon.
We know she's not here though, so remember that we wanted to maybe just talk to Zaval himself. They won't grant us that, but it's less suspicious.
If the Talon's not around, then we need to speak to Zavar immediately.
Make your choice of a deception or performance check.
How are people
doesn't
on
actually matter.
inspiration today? I'm at 0.
Wait a minute. If I'm pretending to be somebody else, do I get advantage on my performance?
The reason I'm going to say no is because there's no, in this moment, you're not even trying to pass yourself off as someone. You're not trying to say, I am the person I look like and am sounding like. It's just the bare bones of the wording of the request is all that this individual is entertaining right now.
Alright, deception.
Natural 20.
Why does that say 16? Holy shit, Tim.
Oh, holy shit. Yeah.
A natural 20 for me would be 19. I love the difference.
Yeah. Expertise +5 +5 +6. Holy shit. This is outside protocol. But she has not. Very well. Please make your way to the lab at once.
That's
And
more
the
like
orb
it.
stops. And the orb stops glowing.
They
And
got
moments
this purple.
later, there's a shimmer on the door, and its illusory wooden appearance flecks away, and you see its rigid iron, maybe lead, door frame is visible, and then you see a pulse of magic above it, and then the whole door frame drops. And beyond, you see a long corridor that fades into blackness.
I send a ping. We need to leave this before that door closes again. move it to Telperion to convey to others. And Toby will.
Yeah, we just start walking out, I
lead
guess,
the
but
way
also
out.
Who leaves first?
Toby does.
not me.
Okay, hang
Mary.
on 1 second.
Guys, should I do the scroll thing now, or should I wait a moment? I guess we probably should wait till we have guaranteed.
I want to guarantee
Secrecy.
that we're in Daynor as well. I feel like there's the minuscule less than 1% chance, but if we're on some
her lab.
demi-plane,
That her lab is somewhere else. Yeah.
Okay. As the door thunks shut and you all prepare to walk through, who's walking through first?
Toby will proceed first.
Okay.
I'll be right behind Toby.
Me and the guards will flank in the back, so like we'll act like our important person. Tim is in the middle.
All right, Jerry in the middle.
Toby Rama.
Yeah.
As you pass through the door frame,
Oh,
you feel just something, your breath catches for some reason, and you feel a very warm sensation course through you. And there's a spike of fear for some reason. You're in unknown lands. Why are you doing this? This is so brash. Shit, you shouldn't be able to be frightened. Hero's Feast makes you immune to frightened. The feel of fear fades. You're not under the frightened condition, but the spike of that fear indicates to you you are no longer under the blessing of Hero's Feast, nor any spell below 7th level.
did you just become visible?
Was Toby invisible previously?
I was seeing
Visible
it.
as Toby.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The illusory disguise is immediately dropped, and all of you see as he walks through the door, his illusion is dispelled from his body.
Do I feel
The
my
mo- the mo-
fortitude
the mo-
fail from the Hero's Feast extra hit points?
Yes, all magical boons from spells 7th level or lower have been dispelled from your person.
Damn.
However, the mote of golden flame in the shape of a canary still orbits your person. Roulette, you said you were next, but you see this happen to Toby before you walk through the door. Do you choose to walk through anyway?
I stop immediately.
Should I scout
Nefani-
for glyphs or something?
Nefani, one of your folks, wouldn't you mind stepping through? No harm, and if I'm correct, the only thing that you guys might lose is that overcoat.
Very well. I would not ask any of my kin what I would not do myself. I shall go first. And she walks through.
She has physical clothing on, not magical.
The cloak, yeah, the clothier's croquis clothing does not fade from her form.
Wait, can you look and see if there's a sequence there that you can disrupt since now you've been dispelled?
I'm gonna start looking at this corridor and trying to look for. I know what arcane glyphs look like, and just generally looking is there someone waiting at the end of this corridor? What do
Very
we
well,
do with?
Lord Paragon. Before we continue surveilling this location, I feel fine. I'd like to get the rest of my contingent through as well, at your permission. And she will usher them through, and all 5 of them are able to get through their clothier's croquis clothes not being dispelled. But then you can certainly make a perception check as you surveil the corridor.
I will take a look at the door just to see if there's enough, like another tripwire for like.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
$21.
Toby Rama will do yours first. As you take a couple steps down the corridor, you've seen this space before. Telperion cast an illusion of it yesterday, last night before you went to sleep. This is that other unknown corridor from that 4-point intersection. You can even hear the grumbling of someone set on a guard post or some sort of guard duty straight ahead, far down. and you think you see a glimmer of light that direction. As you push forward a little bit, you think that's where the specialty holdings prison cells are. But if you didn't continue straight in that direction and you went left, that's Moira's lab. And if you went right, you could continue upstairs into Talonreach Keep. Roulette, as Toby Rama's perceiving that phenomenon in that environment, you get up close and personal with this door. Now knowing it has some version of magical capability, you get up in all the grooves, running with your fingers, your tools, whatever you want to do. And then you do hear something, you're sliding one of your tools and it's just grinding against metal that's given an illusionary appearance of wood along the frame. And then a different sound hits and your tool sort of juts out and you tap it a couple times. And then you venture a feel. There's a gemstone, a large gemstone fixed into the frame of the door, illusorily covered up.
Can I tell if it's like active or deactivated or like the charge from this? Has the stormlight gone?
You're not able to get visual on it without potentially disrupting or dispelling an illusion, but the warmth of it implies it's an ongoing active effect.
Can Toby break it?
Toby, do me a favor. Come back in.
I will do that.
What would you have of me and my contingent?
Stay there for just a moment.
Back up, but stay in the corridor.
Pikes at the ready. And they face away from you all, just preparing down the corridor.
I have Dispel Magic prepared.
No, Toby, I just want you to step across the threshold really quick, back into the room.
I will do that.
Like, I wonder if this is like a hold your swords at the front of the bar kind of thing.
I walk back.
You walk through again, Toby? You feel that same warm sensation course through you, but you don't feel anything lost, for you have nothing to lose.
Okay, never mind. They don't give it back.
Okay, what do I
Crystal,
think here?
break it.
Crystal, break it. I will start by...
I know we've been here at the end of the day.
All of my simple... yeah, I will kind of grab the axe head arrow and see if I can just smash against this gemstone.
I will do one of these and point right to where it is.
Okay. With the assist action granted, Toby Rama, please make a
improvised weapon attack.
Yeah, it is improvised, and to hit that just improvised weapon attack. But you do have advantage, but not proficiency.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh.
Nat 20 will do
I
it.
rolled a nat 20.
Holy shit! Double nat 20.
Good start, guys. 3 crits in the first iteration.
What
failed
side of you're on
proficiency.
you're on the inside, in the study side, not the corridor side, while doing this, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
That's where I'm doing
Yep.
it from.
As you plant firmly exactly where you know it is, the axe head arrow given to you by Gallus, you plant it in there, and you hear a small crack, and then the door slams shut, separating you all from your Glassguard elites. You are once again inside the study.
Do we think it broke
Break down the wall.
But
I
do we
guess-
think that
Christopher, while I was, since I'm right next to it, and could I have told or been aware of if the gem did break?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. I'm gonna say with disadvantage.
That feels right.
Above a 20 still sufficient. The warmth of it is fading, but it doesn't feel shattered. You might have just disrupted its magic that is not only a source of dispel for all who walk through its threshold, but also dispels the magic keeping this door up.
Well, no, dispels the magic, keeping it down.
You said it
It's locked in place up. It's
Yeah.
dispelling the magic that is keeping it up. It is getting rid of that magic. So when it triggers the dispel, it's pushing it down.
Oh.
So the magic is broken. It's just a mundane heavy door now.
No,
Roulette, you think?
Roulette thinks the
Yeah.
gemstone might not be shattered. It's just been deactivated.
So I approach this heavy door, and it's like, so there's this big heavy metal or like stone. Can I lift it? Like I try to lift it.
Yeah, really what you're trying to do is pull it down. Go ahead
Okay.
and make a strength check.
Oh, Jiri will hop on in there and then give an assist as well with his
Okay,
strong
you're
arm.
you're welcome to give the help action to Telperion or roll it yourself if you
I'll roll
prefer.
twice. Is it strength or athletics?
No,
I'm
I
gonna
will
say this is
also,
go ahead and roll athletics.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, you wanted to roll off, didn't you?
16. What'd you roll?
I haven't rolled yet. I rolled 18. Damn.
You guys know you're giving it a lot of physical force, but it's hard to get a handhold on a door that's set into a frame that has no knob or anything to push down on. So you're sort of just using friction and trying to wedge your fingers into grooves, and it's not sufficient to get it
This
down.
is stupid. And I'll just telekinesis it up with a telekinetic movement
Down.
if I can. Down. I'll push it if I can.
Okay. You use telekinetic movement.
Probably too heavy for
Go ahead and make an intelligence check against the DC of the spellcaster's DC who imbued this magic.
You got this.
Can anyone? Kobe.
If I see you getting ready to
I'm
attempt
good.
stuff, I will like.
Yeah, I'm like
give you
trying.
some
I mean, I'm
focus with a
here
D4.
doing all my physical and mental will against this door. So, let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, a nat 19 plus 4 is 23.
+1.
You grip it with all your strength telekinetically, and you see it dislodge from the top. With your force of will, you force it down. But you guys got to go now. It's not going to hold.
We're doing it.
We do it.
All four of you, the Forsaken Winds, sprint through the door. And who's the first through? Telperion, you were sort of there first. Are you moving through it first? Or are you
Holding it
letting your
by-
friends through? Yeah, you're holding it in place while they go first, maybe?
If I did my mental math correct, the only thing I am losing is also Hero's Feast. So I will jump through. That's the only active spell.
Are
I
we
have.
still losing everything?
We don't know, and we don't have time to figure it out
Yeah.
slowly. We're all doing it
Roulette,
right now.
you do feel that warm sensation course through you, and you do, in fact, lose the additional hit points of Hero's Feast as long as it's other protections. Who was next, Toby or Jiri?
Toby was next.
You feel a sensation
dispel
again.
this
You've
before-
lost what you can. Your guidance on Telperion ends, but he already has purchased sufficient to hold it for now. Jiri, you're next.
Can I do a Jimmy Neutron Brain Blast really quick? Sorry.
Yep.
I'll go through.
I will. Can I tell how many pounds of force this door exerted upon going back up?
Holy shit. I'm gonna say intelligence check with disadvantage for this momentary calculation you're attempting. Otherwise, that might require actual math and problem solving.
Oh, just so
That's like
rather
a
it's not
that's
all
like a
me
30-minute
really
AP physics question to solve. We'll see how good. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. You're not able to quickly suss it out in that moment.
Okay. I will turn around and I will take out one of my gold dust pouches and I will throw a coin on top of the door because I'm assuming Telperion has it like 3/4 of the way down.
Yeah.
Okay, I will throw a coin on top and I will slap the gold on top and I will cast immovable object on the coin,
Okay.
which can hold up to 4,000 pounds of force.
You cast it.
Yes.
Jiri runs through, and I need to roll for Jiri.
Oh no! So hold on. pause. Sorry. The reason I was doing that, I was going to. Oh, wait a second. No.
There's something else at play here
Can
that I can clarify. But
I'm
right
going
when
to-
you ran through, you wanted to do that?
No, I'm going to undo that because I'm realizing that it's not the door that's causing the dispel magic. Never mind. Sorry.
That's
sorry.
that's correct. It's not the door causing the dispel magic, and right before you throw the coin, you know that's going to be dispelled the second it hits contact with that threshold. So I won't have you mark that off. But Jiri, as you make it through, your disguise doesn't fade.
Got a low roll.
Nor does your temporary hit, your increased max hit points. You feel brave. You feel rested and feasted. You didn't lose anything.
All right, we're not letting this door keep us. Come on, Telperion. I know it's
Yeah,
annoying,
bitch.
but we're not going to waste more resources on this.
Okay. Jiri is still under the effect of his seeming and Hero's Feast. None of the rest of you are.
Well, do you have to roll for Telperion crossing the threshold?
Oh, Telperion is next. I'm sorry. I was thinking Telperion was Jiri was the last obstacle there. But yes, Telperion, as you rush forward and hop it, I do need to roll for you.
Damn, so close. I feel like if it was 16, it
Dude,
would.
that's
15.
horrible. We just wasted.
You do feel the sensation that Toby and Roulette felt.
It's not
The
that big.
spike of fear, unwelcome to you. You're able to brush it aside quickly, psionically, but you felt it leave.
It's fine.
But Jiri does still have the benefits of Hero's Feast.
Hey, our
And you are still
scholar.
disguised as Durastian soldier or whatever. You're still, Skull Lord is still intact. So are 5 Durastian knights.
I'll pull my mask down over my face to help a little bit, hopefully.
Okay. Oh, thank gods. We were worried about you for a second, but we know to trust in your capabilities. Would you like us to proceed forward first at the vanguard or follow behind you?
Telperion, we are in the keep. You can go ahead and use the map.
Sure. I mean, we're in the middle of a hallway, right? This isn't where I was picturing us using it. We probably want
Well,
like
it's
security.
within a mile radius, and we know that it's the location we saw through your
Sure.
Jiri's work.
I don't know how we're going through the lab door when we look like this, though. But I will take out the map while we contemplate that problem and walk.
Glass
Oh.
guards, to answer your question, you guys can go in the rear.
Wait,
Very
Toby and Telperion, do we just want to be invisible?
We can do that. And they can be his entourage.
I'll reach in Daisy's holding and I'll take out the dart. Yeah, I'll gladly go invisible. That just means that if you guys want to telepathically communicate, you will not be able to. Telperion, you'll just have to keep pinging them occasionally. We've done this before. And I will use one of the 8 charges of invisibility on myself. And I will touch Toby's hand and give him the dart.
I will do the same.
You are able to go invisible, concentrating on your own invisibility. Same with you, Toby. Telperion, same
I will
thing.
Present it to Telperion if he wishes to use it.
By using an action to read the scroll, you cause the arcane script on the page to bleed and seep into the page. But should I use this before going invisible? Will it go invisible with me?
Make an Arcana check, just stray Arcana.
5 plus 4, 9.
You're not sure if it would count as casting a spell or not. It's a scroll, but is it a spell scroll or?
Telperion,
It's a valid thought to have.
I use the action to read it before I accept the wand.
Okay. As you read it, the arcane script, inked by Minerva, twists as you reach each word. It's like it melts and becomes liquid into the page. And as you just read line by line, this arcane sequence in Elvish, it just slowly spreads and fills the page with an outline of a city. And in its heart, Talon Reach Keep. As you use a series of intuitive gestures and even like pull up on the parchment or tap it from beneath, you can change levels. You are getting a full understanding of Talon Reach Keep and within 1 mile of its surroundings. But going down to this level real quick, straight forward
To the
down this
lab.
corridor is the prisons, and to the left is the lab, and to the right is up to Talon Reach proper.
Does the lab have a back entrance or exit?
Jiri never saw one in captivity, and looking at this, does not appear so.
So once we're in there, and no one, but whoever comes through the front door. Okay. I put that away. I will. Jiri, will you tap me with this invisibility and concentrate on it, so I can concentrate on detect magic while we go into this lab, and then I can send you cues about where more magical traps and illusions might be.
Sure, but I think we should go check out the prisons first.
Well, the guy's gonna be waiting for us, so I guess we can get
We
lost on
can
the
wait
way.
a little bit longer. Let's just peek in there and see.
Okay. Do you guys think I should use a spell? I'll burn a slot just to be. We need to detect magic ink right now, right?
Yeah, and I don't think we have 10 minutes to.
Also, make sure you do the detect magic before he taps you.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'll hand the map to Jiri. Is the map invisible when it doesn't matter. Jiri's holding it. No invisibility right now. I will use a slot to cast detect magic.
Okay.
And
Cast
then
it instantaneously. Open up your awareness. That damn door behind you, as it slams shut, you see the faint traces of magic sort of dissipate as they're sealed in place, and you can't really see the magic in the crevice of it. But ahead, there's continual flames far, far ahead.
Jiri, go ahead and tap me if you don't mind.
Alright, I grab the wand, tap him.
And
Okay.
you have the map now, so I'll just be invisibly detecting as much magic as possible, looking ahead specifically, really looking for illusions that could be hiding malicious stuff.
Okay. And Jiri is concentrating on your invisibility.
Yes.
So we gotta take our health points back down.
You do.
And Jiri is going to, I don't know if the invisible people are in front of me, but he's going to want to head towards the prisons. I think you said that was to the left?
Prison straight ahead.
Straight ahead. Alright. And they're probably not, because, like, does Jiri have, like, a memory of walking through this, like, how long it would take to get to prisons
Yeah.
in this area?
Yeah, absolutely. Intimately familiar with the prisons now that those memories have sort of been unlocked to you. And you know that walking in between the prisons and the specialty holdings, I should specify, not the Daynor prisons that hold who
Right.
knows how many individuals, but specialty holdings, walking in between there when Moira would come to collect you, in between that and her lab was about a 5-minute walk or so. So you know you have about roughly a 2.5 minute walk forward, and you can see the barest hint of flame far ahead that aligns with that. But you guys are welcome to venture ahead. Telperion detecting magic, but you want to lead the charge, Jiri?
Yeah, sure. Jiri will kind of pull ahead and kind of remember what it was like to go through here when he was imprisoned in here. Specifically, he wants to get to the cells and just peek in to see if there's anybody here.
Okay. Well, I will put you on the map then, and bring everyone else to this map. Actually, I think I probably have to do this way. Pause one moment. Yeah, I do need to do that. That's okay. Just to give all of you visibility in the right way. All right, I'll move you guys to this map. Telperion, as you guys head through the corridors, you're not seeing anything light up in suggesting magical traps on the way to the specialty holdings. And you guys don't all physically need to enter this space yet. You guys can just be getting close to it, but I wanted to at least put you on the map. As Jiri, as you guys start approaching, you can see off in the distance, there is someone sitting at a desk. They would have someone posted there. And venturing forward anymore would be a loud endeavor with this many footsteps, even with invisibility giving some of you advantages. But moving forward, and you're probably 30 feet off screen, and you would need to stealth if you wanted to move forward without being undetected. But if you alone, or with your entourage of what looks like Drastian soldiers and knights, want to just proceed forward, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, sure. If nobody's gonna stop me, Jiri's gonna be. Well,
you.
I'll mentally ping Telpiron first, just to make sure he knows what I'm doing. I'm gonna go talk
I'll
to
be
that guy.
whispering. I'll be whispering on your shoulder, Jiri, saying, "If you want, I could stealth ahead invisibly. I have the boots on so that they won't hear my footfall, and I could scout it up for you and report back. Or you could go invisibly, or you could go. I wouldn't go with this guise. You don't wield any authority here with this guise."
Yeah, I mean, who needs authority? I'll just tell him I'm here looking for Moira's. We got turned around, went the wrong direction.
But why even go if we're not going to be able to go past them and investigate?
All right, fine. Then go check out those prison cells, see who's in there.
Sure. Actually, it's a good idea since I can see the magic that might take off this illusion and invisibility anyway. I'll be right back. And I'll scout ahead and not stepping, just mortified that I lost my mom's feast and blessing and really upset. Like, I'm really keeping an eye on anything that could dispel my invisibility. And I do have the boots of Elvenkind on, so my feet are muffled. But so I would like to stealth forward and go check out those cells if I can.
Okay. As you stealth forward, you're silent by footstep. You're invisible by visual, unless you're really stinky or you trip and break an ankle on a stray cobblestone that could literally jostle something and make you fall into something. It's going to be almost impossible. I do need you to still make a stealth check, but it'll be at advantage, and the person
20.
at the post that you get close to and see seems to be a mage of some sorts, and you're not going to go that far ahead yet. You will, and he's going to make a perception with disadvantage against you per your boots. And his perception.
No, I'm not wearing my cloak, so he's a regular regular check.
Oh, okay. So just regular.
That's the cost of attunement, baby.
You said 20.
He got particularly close. This dude is posted at a prison cell. He is typically, even if not having a high perception roll per se, he's being attentive often. But you're able to move into the space. And so, yeah, now you can get here and see that he's here. As you painted the image of this place for your friends illusorily yesterday, you know that there's a door here, and more specifically, there's a locked gate ahead of you with a bunch of, iron bars that prevent venturing forward into the corridor between cells. But you can at least get up close to it.
I'm gonna use mage. Do they look skinny and low HP?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check as you sort of size them up a little bit.
Does he look skinny and low HP?
I think it's a 14 because I'm a 0 plus on insight. 14, yeah.
What's his riz?
He definitely has the sort of classic build of a mage, not quite bulky, robed, so not armored. However, you are close enough, and you, with your detect magic, you do see sort of under some of his garments, there's the faint trace of magic that is giving him mage armor. He has that spell active right now.
go back, but there's a locked door here. And then these doors are shut, so I'll go back and
Yeah,
report.
these doors are shut, but they're just like wooden swing doors that aren't locked or even bolted or guarded. They look like you could just grasp the handle and push or pull. But yeah, you're welcome to make it back to your friends if you would like.
Person here, right? I guess what I'll do. I'm gonna go over here. If is this one out of sight of him a little bit? Or, like, behind
He's
him
not
in
currently
any way?
looking. Yeah, he's not currently looking at it. His cone of
peek
vision might not
through.
be. Okay, you can go ahead and just like get a little sliver without a check required. It just seems like a stone cobblestone room. You can see a wooden rack on the wall that you're looking at that indicates, and you see a long sword and short sword hanging there. So it's some sort of supply room.
And if I could I go over here? Is there like a keyhole I can even look through, or do I have to slide? You know what? I'm just gonna push this one open a tiny bit and get another peek.
Okay. You are stealthed, but doing this carefully in full view of this guy, should he even like glance in your direction. I want a sleight of hand check on this one.
Nat 19 plus 120.
Wow. Yes, you are able to do it. No creaks to this wood, but then you push this one in and you see a Durastian knight just sort of like sitting bored at a table, just sipping an ale that's on the table. And then you hear a soft breathing sound of someone else in the room. There appear to be two individuals, a knight and a guard.
I'll start walking back, and Jiri, you'll hear in your mind. So there's 3 in total, 2 in this room. Maybe I'm not sure if there's any of the other, but we're not getting through unless we take his key or someone talks him into opening it. But also,
Alright, I think we should come back after we go check out the other rooms and free these prisoners. Side
I
mission.
like that. I like that. To the lab then, and I'll just whisper that to everybody in the middle so everyone can hear it. To the lab.
Lab.
Telperion, the plate armor wearing sneaky guy. All right, very well. You suss out that environment a little bit, choose not to interact quite yet. You back up. You venture back about 2 minutes or so down the stone corridors, very dark. There's not continual flames lit along the corridors, only here in the prison cells. But then you do finally make it back to that 4-way intersection. And you know now, coming from this direction, turning right will lead to Moira's lab. You go in that direction?
Looking for a lot of magic outside the entrance to it.
Okay. As you approach that environment, dissimilarly to the continual flames lighting the specialty holdings, as you continue down this corridor, this faint cold blue glow just starts to bask and coat the stones around you. And it's magical, but it's not like bound to the stones. It's magical light emanating from beyond. And as you guys carefully move forward and forward, the space begins to come even closer. And the mouth opens up, and you're roughly 20 feet from the entrance to Moira's lab that you all had seen yesterday by your illusions again. And I will go to that map, make sure you all are placed on it, which I think you should be. Oh, but I have to put our Glassguard elites on there. So similarly, I'm going to move you guys here. You're technically 30 feet off screen, but this is the view out ahead of you. You're entering from the very bottom of the map on a raised balcony that then continues downward and to the left out of sight from your current vantage point through stairs that access the lower level of the Great Lab out ahead of you. As you sort of come into view of this, Telperion, your detect magic's going off like crazy. There's a lot of magic emanating your way, but without getting it into your radius, it's going to be hard to suss out exact examples, identifiable, tangible interactables, etc. However, you can already see some visuals up ahead. There's a large...
Because I got a question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah.
Does this map accurate in terms of like looking like this place is kind of like partially destroyed?
Yes, and that is new to you.
Okay.
But Telperion, and all of you can get some of this. Telperion, you just see certain things glowing off in the distance. But all of you can see this space is largely broken into 3 sort of platform sections. The closest one is this vast platform with like grates in a radial circumference around a giant 10-foot vat of murky liquid that is glowing. Further ahead, you can see a platform with a glowing sigil sequence, not dissimilar from what a teleportation sigil would be, but it's pulsing off in the distance. And you think you see an individual kneeling or sitting there. And then way further ahead, maybe some 200 feet ahead or so, at the end, you see another raised platform with a backdrop of full ceiling height bookshelves, each 20 feet tall or so at that elevation. And another something moving, a massive shifting shape that looks roughly humanoid sized and is just loosely, slowly moving to an area, stopping, and then moving to another area and stopping.
I wonder if she's got one of those gross soul devils.
I don't know, but this place looks way different than last time I was here.
Who's got the map? And can we just check to see where fucking Zavar is right now?
We can, totally. And Jerry has the map. But let me check the instruction manual before you use it for
I think it's like
Zavar.
a one-time to specifically see someone.
So 10 minutes we'll know where he is, I think. Something like that. So we don't want to use it willy-nilly. If the target is a creature...
Wait a minute, why don't we want to use it right now?
If the person is somewhere... Okay, I'll read it when we want to use it.
Why don't we
10
want to
minutes
use
and
it
only
right now?
more stuff.
Wait, why don't we want to use it right? Why wouldn't we use it just right now?
Oh, sorry. Well, we don't want to pursue him yet, right? We want to sack this lab, and then we can pursue him. We'll only get to see...
What if he's in the lab?
I don't think he is. We get 10 minutes to know where he is. So, do we want to track where he is now and then not know where he is in 20 minutes when we go look for him? I don't
Can
think
we
he's
use it? Sorry,
No.
Can we use it again?
No, you only get to use it for 12 hours. Once every 12 hours, we can use that feature.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'd say once we are done in here, and we've killed those 2 things, and we fucked up some of her shit, and we've stolen some of it, then we go look for him. Because we
I don't
can't
even
kill
want to talk to
him.
these guys. Let's just go kill them, right? Like, let's just go over there and kill them.
There's no reason. I mean, unless we want to question them, but I don't think we should.
We could capture one of them, but like, I feel like we just should go in swords first.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time. So as long as they can't warn anyone as they die, we should be fine.
All right, I'll distract them. You guys kill them sneakily.
Jiri, you pick the strongest one. Just walk right up to him and start swinging. Don't attack before you're right next to him. And like you and those glass guards, just start wailing on them, and we'll pick someone else.
Oh yeah, you invisible guys go up first though.
Yeah. Let the ambush.
Okay. Would you all like to make a stealth check as you enter into this space?
Yeah.
The glass guard.
That's not
me
good.
and the glass.
But I have advantage,
Okay.
so it's still not great.
Okay. Demir and Glassguard, wearing plate armor, so good call there, will not make a stealth check, acting as if they belong here. Our invisible people can all have advantage.
Well,
You did better than me.
Oh, yeah, Aquilari could have helped us, but he's not here.
With advantage.
Yeah, roll
Oh,
a-
I'll also just clarify a side thing that I think could end up mattering likely. 9 people were able to be transported by the teleportation. It was functionally similar to the spell teleport, not teleportation circle. So in order for Shaggy to come along, he would have had to dip into either the necklace or the portable hole. I'm assuming that will have been resolved. Jiri, is Shaggy in the necklace or the portable hole at this moment?
I have the necklace, so he will be in the necklace. But I have at one point when we were just like walking, taken him out of the necklace and put him on my back as the normal rolled up carpet form that usually
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
is. And had it been part of my illusion in some way.
Yes,
as
and I will
like
say
a-
if he was in the necklace at the time, he certainly would not have necessarily been dispelled if he was in the necklace at the time. But if he walked through that, he just might have ceased to exist, as he is a creature summoned by a 5th level spell. So you know that dispel magic is sufficient threat to him, but that was not at play when you guys interacted with that door.
Retro.
Oh, tell Toby Rama, you also have Boots of Elvenkind on. Okay, so also you have no sound. That is good to know.
Yeah, it's funny rolling a 12 when you're invisible and your feet can't make sound,
Or a
but
7.
I know.
Well, that's you're no visual and no audio either. So I make the DC reflect that sometimes as well. Although 7 is still a low roll,
Yeah.
so we'll see. But okay, but yes, Jiri, you can have inert Shaggy rolled up and sort of lashed to your back,
Cool.
or carried by a glass guard if you prefer, or whatever you would like.
I'll keep him on me for now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna walk up to whoever is closest.
Letting Telperion lead.
3
the way.
invisibles will start strafing further
Yeah, you
away.
guys are
away. Yeah, so we'll take whatever route he doesn't go. So do you go?
Okay. So to start, Jiri will need, with the glass guard following him, to proceed down these stairs. And then Jiri, if you're looking, just make your way toward the most close identifiable individual to interact with. I'd say you
Yeah.
would probably just continue across this dais here.
Okay.
And then you see an individual here in the very center of the map on that sigil circle. And the only other moving individual you can see, you think, is off in the very distance. And I will make
I'm
sure.
gonna ignore the guy off in the distance. I'm gonna take my time so that the other people can get there to the other guy first. And
Okay.
I'll approach this guy.
So as you guys start approaching this way, Telperion and Roulette and Toby Rama, where are you interested in going in this map?
I think we're interested in basically going in front of Jiri, but then starting to work this way, in this general direction.
Okay, so in that case, you guys might... Well, if that's your intent, confirm with Telperion and Roulette, because Telperion might be suggesting something else with his arrow
Yeah,
clicker.
show me where you want to go, Toby.
Because we need to get up to the guy in the distance, and I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
just walk through this circle thing. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
require this and all that good stuff.
That sounds good. So
Okay.
we'll go this way, following, but then passing on when Jiri pulls over.
We are at
Oh, and I'm
740. We are at
mentally think
740.
that Perion- Sorry.
I just wanted to confirm timing. Are we okay to push a little bit more, 10, 15 minutes, or should we be cutting it shortly?
We said 7:30. Steve, what are you thinking?
I'm good for the moment.
Are you sure? Okay. I'm good.
We can just continue
Yeah, whatever.
setting the stage for a moment, but we won't get into anything specifically. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So as you guys go here, Jiri, you think your paths will sort of diverge as you'll need to ascend these steps up to this raised space in the center, as your allies will need to skirt around its circumference, and it's about a 10-foot high wall there for them to start making their way toward the other individual. As
All right,
Jiri,
I'm gonna mentally ping
Yeah.
Telperion to give me any heads up if there are any like traps I'm about to step on. You can see magic.
Hear that because he can't see me, but I am actually doing that and keeping an eye out for traps. But like, I'll just glance over where he's going up those stairs, and then my attention is going to be back on our path. But I will just like glance there, looking.
are you looking to just surveil the environment with your senses, or are you taking painstaking time to inspect every step you take?
He has detect magic up, don't you?
Yeah, so what I'm thinking about is I'm kind of trying to ignore the obvious things. Anything that looks magical to the mundane eye, I don't even care if it's ringing as magical. What I'm looking for is where are the spells that on the ground or that we're passing by or through that are detection based or trappy. Because I just
got you.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. I'm going to take the liberty of placing you guys
move us
very
around
near to where
it makes sense.
Jiri, I'm going to say you start ascending this staircase toward the individual you were interested in moving toward. Toby, Rilla, and Telperion, you're starting to flank. Your paths are starting to diverge. I'm going to give Jiri some information first. Jiri, as you're moving toward the individual here in the center, you see it looks like someone... Here, I'm going to change to a different thing for me.
You look
real
crazy ugly.
Is it Mordecai?
It looks like the most boring NPC you can think of, right?
It looks like Vegeta.
You see their head down, their arms stretched out into the side, downward on each side. You see golden scales and dreadlocks pulled into neat rows that hang around their shoulders. That's a gold dragonborn, and they're kneeling. Their head is slumped down, and their eyes are closed. Telperion, you aren't in visual range of that individual at this point. But what you are in range of is your detect magic active. There are 4 floating pockets of amorphous movement hovering in the air around that space, and tethered between them and the sigil sequence is just a rapidly influx arcane lightning tether that is connecting those 4 bits of arcane light, tethering them all to that sigil sequence in the middle. As well, as you start getting closer, without question, each of these vastly enormous vats of gaseous vapors, they appear to be, are glowing very brightly. And then 3 obelisks set ahead of you, up another 10-foot wall, but you can see their presence of magic, and hovering above each obelisk is a thick tome, buoying in the air almost imperceptibly, held aloft by permanent magic. Each seems to be open. So those are the bits of arcane interaction you see in the space. And Jiri, you're sort of walking brazenly up the steps to that dais, and you're welcome to go interact with that individual if you would like.
Yeah.
I see Gary.
So is he like looking at me? Has he noticed me yet? Like I'm kind of like,
Tromping.
making noise a little bit to see if he looks up.
Go ahead and make make a wisdom check.
Much better.
And then we'll come to you in a second, Telperion.
Is the wisdom all right? Oh, 19.
He's not looking at you, and you haven't made your footsteps quiet. There's something horribly familiar about that sequence. That's a binding ritual. That's where they bound Hyperivel. Someone's being
Right, and I'm
bound
gonna,
here.
like-
And as
Yeah, I'm gonna-
you realize this, you hear from the distance, "Oh, good. You've come. Please make your way here." From off in the distance, you see floating loosely toward you, hovering and slightly elevating in the air. This.
Oh.
A creature made of thousands upon thousands of tattered parchment, spell scrolls, and who knows what unknowable information. He's glowing and hovering with his magic, and you know this is some infernal, devilish creature of Moira's service. And it now approaches you, Jiri. You're still about 60 plus feet from him, but he has acknowledged your arrival in this space.
You hear
Oh, but I knew-
Telpyrion in your head saying, "I think that thing's magical."
Oh, thank you. Good call.
Also, I don't know, I wouldn't know if you recognized it, but I think I might have been putting two and two together, seeing the lightning above, that there's some kind of imprisonment happening, and that's what I would radio you, Jiri, about that. So I'd say stay away from those glyphs or whatever.
With Telpyrion
Yeah, and I'll
having
just-
seen those instances, I'll go ahead and try and make those visible here. Except for some reason, it is difficult to click on polylines sometimes.
Why would she have a gold dragon bone? Dang. Toby.
She did something similar to Hyperival. I can remember that.
Hopefully this
you
doesn't
only
fuck
find
anything
something
up.
if it's
There
like
we go.
spiritual, right? Can you find something that's not very powerful? You wouldn't bother.
Yeah, but I know. It'd be like a Gene situation.
Gene.
Oh, that's interesting.
Another
Great. With
battery.
never mind.
Okay, so now Telpyrion has eyes on those. The rest of you guys don't see those yet, but I wanted to at least represent them because Telpyrion has identified them. There are crackling tethers of arcane energy radiating between points Telpyrion can see and that sigil sequence. But Jiri, as that individual continues to hover and approach you and leave the dais it was on, heading your way, just floating over the gap, clearly fly and hover capabilities, how do you greet that individual?
I need to. Jiri wants to like see if he can recognize this in this guy's way he's addressing. It might be hard without facial features, but can Jiri tell if this guy like recognizes me or like knows me personally?
Interesting. Go ahead and make an insight check with disadvantage.
Ugh.
Critter, just a, I guess, terrain thing. Are we like 5 feet down from
10 feet.
Okay,
The lip right next to you is like a 10-foot high curved wall that continues around that elevated platform.
Okay.
Yeah, Jiri, it's pretty unknowable. Not only have you not interacted with this individual, but whether there's some version of comfortability, whether he's not threatened, has familiarity with you, or has faith in the dispel magic capabilities that would have washed away any illusory capabilities to have. He has some level of comfortability navigating the space toward you. But you're not
Then,
sure why.
as he approaches, I'm gonna take more of a passive approach to this greeting and kind of, if this individual will speak first, so I'll just like kind of cross my arms and like put like a scowl on my face, like I'm being inconvenienced in this moment, and waiting for him to address me.
He continues hovering around the dais, this raised platform. He passes under one of the arcane tethers that's, Telperion, from your vantage point, is anchored by something far up in the air, some 30 feet high, and then angled downward toward the sigil. And this creature comes very close to you, Jiri, within 5 feet. It's shorter than you. It's only 5'6" or so. And it just simply, its head sort of lifts upward towards you as if regarding you, and it puts out a hand.
Oh, dude. Draw sword. Flash hand off.
Okay, go ahead and real quick. Actually, you guys were sufficiently stealthed and you were deceiving. So if you guys would like to begin combat, I will give all of you advantage on the initiative roll. And Jiri, regardless, can move first. And we will pick it up from there next time.
That's what we said we were doing, so.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah, go for it. I mean,
Holy shit. We got some good rolls up in here.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I didn't select my token. Whatever.
I know, and I got to build the initiative tracker,
I
and
forgot you
actually,
did.
I'll have plenty of time to do that off screen in between sessions.
Um,
So I'll get our combat ready for us.
glass
once you
guards
guys-
have +2.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. For them.
D20.
I gotta roll for
Oh
Holy
my
shit, man.
This is for the
Holy
glass
shit.
guard. 16 + 2, so 18. So Telperion, all you got to do is come join us.
yeah, I'm gonna use my first tactician move to hang out with the Nat 20ers.
No, he's gonna pull one of us down to him.
No, I'll have to go behind you guys. It wouldn't be more ethically right for me to supersede your Nat 20s.
For
I'm here
fun,
to save the
for
day.
fun, I will roll his initiative.
Wait, what's his
Oh.
name? What's his name? Because Roulette wants to date him. Describe. Yeah.
Right. Oh, you're already in front of him.
Yikes.
So there's nothing to do with initiative. Except move us around a little bit as is fit.
He
Wait,
rolled
what
a
did we get
10.
for Nat 20s on initiative again?
Advantage on the
Advantage?
first check you make. Whether it's an
Oh,
attack
okay.
roll, ability check, saving throw, it's whatever the first thing you do is.
Alright, let's not forget that for next time.
I will keep that in mind, and this is a helpful reminder, like just looking up in the chat, we'll see all the nat 20s to remind me, but I will get the initiative tracker sorted, and then we'll begin the combat within Moira's lab.
Cool.
So how do we prevent
I
him
am-
from triggering things?
I am very excited to do that combat.
So, are we playing in 2 weeks? So we
I
can have-
believe so. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
so next weekend Mary Works famously means, my middle of Saturday and middle of Sunday are shot, but I could do late sessions. I know those aren't preferred or ideal, but I have the ability to do those if we want. Maybe
Like
even
Saturday.
early on a Friday if I get off work early, if you guys get off work early, that kind of deal, or Saturday night or something. So
Neat.
we can chat about it in the group text again. I don't want to pressure you guys into making any calls now, but
But so
otherwise,
loosely
yeah.
the
Otherwise-
10th or the 11th in the evening, if possible.
If possible, that is definitely an option.
Sweet.
Otherwise, we can wait 2 weeks. Alrighty. I
Alright,
did not
so-
think, I knew it was possible. I did not think you would separate yourselves with the door, but it happened.
What I wanted to do, and I think I think I could have done it, was like attack the stone again and then do the immovable object, which is what I meant to do, because I was like, I want to break the stone and then keep the door where it is. I should have done that. I could have done that in either order, I'm realizing, but I fudged that up. Saved a second level spell slot, but whatever.
Do we have earth shapes through it?
I could have done stone shape, but that's a 4th level spell. So I could have done that to.
Does that let you
Crush.
go through metal?
Well, I'm like, there's the metal door, but then like
Oh,
next to
surrounding,
it, I could,
yeah,
like, make a
walls,
little
sure.
catty corner. Or what I was thinking is I could around the gemstone, since I was already out there, just like try and crush the stone by encapsulating it, or the gemstone by encapsulating. I don't know, but that would have been a high level spell, and I'm glad we didn't I know you lost your Longstrider. I
I
know
mean,
Year's Feast was a
yeah.
surprise. We weren't planning on it, so I don't feel too bad about it. I
And
know
and
it
one
was
of you still
nice.
benefiting from it.
Yeah,
I
Drew's
am
chilling.
gonna be using Beacon of Hope most of my concentration, which is gonna kind of be a mini version of that. So
Oh, you got aid?